Time now for a little talk. Excuse me. Time now to talk about the Kentucky Derby and the guy who has got his reputation and something of value on the line in a bet with the mayor of Louisville is our own mayor, Kent Gwynn, who's got something up at stake here as to which horse will win the Kentucky Derby, and we'll see whether Florida or Kentucky can claim horse capital of the world, which happens to be, by the way, ours right now, Mayor Gwynn, horse capital of the world.
It is. I looked that trademark up the other day, and yes, we are the horse capital of the world. So one of the things I was going to say, there was a article. Well, let me back up for a second. So we have a bet. The mayor of Louisville and I, Greg Fisher, have a bet. This is the third year that we've done this, not the second year, is communicated in this article, which I'll touch on in a second. But his bet is a bottle of Woodford Reserve bourbon.
Oh, that's nice.
They're really famous for their bourbon.
Yeah, they are.
There's a gentleman here that I met at the Silver Springs Film Festival.
I met him.
Yeah.
Some of his little taste of his goods there.
Yeah, and so it's a brandy, and we're going to. That's my bet. It's called Marion Black 106, Spirit of Florida. It's a tangerine brandy. It's distilled by Fishhawk Spirits of Ocala.
Quite tasty, too.
It is. I had that, and I had a bourbon that they did, so it was real good. So this article that's in the Louisville newspaper.
Courier Journal. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You're a little bit ticked off about
Yeah,
this.
let's listen to this.
Well, look into the camera and tell them how mad you are.
Okay, so it says for the second consecutive year. So the guy gets the article wrong, starting off.
Not the right number?
Third.
Okay, there's one.
Okay, and then he says, Greg Fisher is raising the stakes at the Kentucky Derby by placing a friendly wager against, get this, the mayor of a tiny Florida city.
Tiny
Florida city.
You are the mayor of a tiny Florida city.
With a thoroughbred tradition of its own. Yes, we do have a tradition.
Actually, we have a horse tradition in many facets, not just thoroughbreds, although we had a lot of Derby winners.
Totally.
And by the way, until last year, the last Triple Crown winner
Fern
was. But we have many other fine horses here, Arabians and on and on and on. So it's not just thoroughbreds, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And so anyway, he goes on to say
Tiny Florida
city. Okay. Says this bet's becoming an annual tradition between the two mayors of the two cities. For years, Ocala has boasted, and correctly so, doesn't say correctly so.
You had that in there.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there. That it is the true horse capital of the world over Lexington, Kentucky. So I went on the Trademarks and Patents website, and sure enough, we do own the trademark of horse capital of the world.
So take that up there, Mr. Big City Louisville.
That's right.
Our tiny Florida city, right?
That's right.
Does that make you a tiny mayor, by the way?
I guess so. Yeah.
All right, so you're throwing down. You kind of got a little attitude about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and what is the bet so people understand?
Okay, so here's what he did last year. So his bet was if any Kentucky bred horse wins, he won, and then I bet on one specific horse.
Wait a minute.
We both lost.
I need to talk to the gambling expert, Tom Schmitz, about this. You don't do it like me saying, I'll take the field and you take one golfer. You can't do that. He has to pick a horse, man.
Yeah.
The whole field, I guess so. They got a lot more Kentucky bred horses in the race.
And we both lost.
Including the tiny part of the city.
And my horse scratched, and I could have picked American Pharaoh, but I went, you know what? I'm going to go with a Florida bred.
Being loyal to your brand.
And I lost. But
wait, this doesn't match. Something's wrong here. Tiny Florida city, horse capital of the world. Doesn't match.
Yeah, I need to call Mr. Bailey here and correct him.
All right, so you're down. Derby's going to be run this weekend. Have you had your horse picked yet? Do you have him yet?
Yeah, mine's a Gunrunner.
Gunrunner.
Yes. So it's a horse that came out of Bessie Lou Farm that Mr. Leone still owns a percentage of. It was a weanling there, and all the way to a yearling, and it was trained at Vesalue Farm.
Okay, you have the big bet from the mayor of the tiny Florida city, but the horse capital of the world. Thanks, Mayor Ken Gwynn. Appreciate it.
All right.